The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. It's 5 a.m. on this Thursday morning. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
We begin this morning with a developing story, and it appears at least 2 people are in custody this morning following a large police presence in East Bakersfield. This was the scene shortly after 1 a.m. Medical aid was on hand while officers appeared to search the area. No official word from police yet on what was going on, but we will keep you updated as soon as we learn more.
And there are still some unanswered questions this morning about a 2-year-old child wearing only a diaper who was discovered on the side of the road just north of Bakersfield. It happened around 8:30 Monday evening with temperatures well into the triple digits. According to the sheriff's office, the toddler was found by a driver on the side of Highway 65 near James Road. The driver stayed with the child until CHP and sheriff's deputies arrived. Investigators say they were able to get in touch with the family, but it's unclear if the child was returned to the parents. We'll continue following this story and we'll let you know as we learn more.
It is no secret that catalytic converter thefts have been a problem across our county. And this week, CHP officers in Kern say they found more than 100 of them hidden in plain sight. It happened Tuesday afternoon on I-5 near the Highway 119 interchange. During a traffic stop, officers say they saw several catalytic converters in the back of a car with angled cuts on them that are consistent with theft. In total, 103 converters were collected. Both suspects in the car, who were from the Bay Area, were arrested on suspicion of grand theft and possession of stolen property.
Turning now to a major crash in southwest Bakersfield. One car burst into flames. At least 3 vehicles were involved. And this all happened just after 4 p.m. at the intersection of Panama Lane and Golden Gate Drive. Witnesses say it happened because one car sped through a red light.
I was just coming out from work. I did hear him speeding. He did cut me off. And the lady that was right here waiting with me cut her off as well. The lights were red already, so after that I just heard the explosion. When I came to the stop sign, his car was already engulfed in flames, and they were yelling for him to get out.
Crews were on scene to put out that fire. Our photojournalist Josiah Valenzuela says at least 3 people were being treated on scene.
5:04 is your time now, and local businesses are feeling the sting of reality as persistent property crime and vandalism continues to plague the city. 17's Justin White spoke with business owners around the area to hear their frustrations.
It's disheartening. It's horrible.
Julie Crawford has seen the Old Town Kern environment change.
It's scary because these people used to be, they were around, but they weren't aggressive and they weren't destructive and they weren't attacking people, you know, and now I'm worried when I walk to my car that somebody's going to like carjack me with my daughter in the car.
Wednesday morning, vents torn from the building at Pyrenees. Meanwhile, Monday downtown, House of Tallulah suffered smashed windows, the second time in the past week. Customers see the decline in safety.
It's just a shame. The downtown Bakersfield area has a lot to offer.
A business owner himself, Edward Weichel, says it's senseless.
I've been out here, had windows broke for no reason. Didn't take anything, just broke the window just to be breaking it.
Weichel has a strong opinion for the cause.
Oh, I know it's a drug problem. You've been out front, right?
So what's the solution?
And they need to be repercussions for what they're doing. I mean, they know that nothing's going to happen.
Like the sheriff said, he's got 600 extra beds. Throw them in it.
And for downtown Bakersfield?
If things continue as they are, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
And a Bakersfield man accused of masturbating in a public pool appeared in court yesterday, where his mother offered a new explanation for his actions. She says her son was not masturbating, but instead was convulsing from a seizure. The incident happened last month at an apartment complex on Brimhall and Coffee Roads. The 24-year-old was captured on surveillance video with his pants down and was arrested after being confronted by apartment residents. The judge, however, rejected the mother's theory and ordered Hill to be held without bail.
Your time's 5:33. Turning now to the state of the city of Bakersfield. A broad cross-section of civic and government leaders gathered yesterday to take stock of the accomplishments made during the past year and the challenges ahead.
Yeah, one of the most talked about issues, homelessness. 17's Cecilia Trevino has the latest.
With only 12% of the nation's population, yet 50% of unsheltered people, California is facing an undeniable homeless crisis. In her 2023 State of the City, Mayor Kern County addressed the state needs to do its part.
While we've made progress, we realize that mental health and substance use present great issues. We're grateful and looking forward with anticipation to legislation that is coming down from Sacramento that is going to make a difference with those who are mentally ill, those who have substance use disorders. Those are major impediments to our progress.
Bakersfield is second to lowest in the number of unsheltered people per capita in bigger cities in California, but the number of people becoming homeless remains higher than those going into permanent housing. To combat these high numbers, the city is building 500 multifamily units and 675 single-family homes, all classified as affordable housing, with another 415 multifamily units in pre-development. On another key topic, City Manager Christian Clegg addressed Bakersfield's gun violence, which is higher than state and national averages.
It's a very small percentage of people do a big majority of gun violence. So we've focused on that small group, and we've been able to see these big changes.
Results from last year's gun violence reduction strategy showed a 40% reduction in homicides, 49% reduction in gang shootings, and 30% reduction in shot spotter alerts. Cecilia Treviño, 17 News.
And we're getting a clearer picture of the charges former President Trump could be facing as a result of Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigation into January 6th. Two attorneys with direct knowledge of the case say the special counsel is looking at statutes that include conspiracy to defraud the U.S., deprivation of rights, and tampering with a witness. NBC's Garrett Hake reports.
A defiant Donald Trump lashing out at the special counsel as the election-related charges the former president may soon face come into focus.
It's election interference. Never been done like this in the history of our country, and it's a disgrace.
NBC News learning that a target letter Mr. Trump received Sunday night lays out 3 federal statutes under which he might be charged in the special counsel's 2020 election probe, according to 2 attorneys with direct knowledge of it. Conspiracy to defraud the U.S., deprivation of rights under color of law, and tampering with a witness, each broad categories, not specific charges. Mr. Trump claiming the letter offered him 4 days to come to Washington and respond before the grand jury. An opportunity sources familiar with his thinking tell NBC News he plans to decline. The possible pending indictment dividing former allies, now challenging him for the Republican presidential nomination.
He should be charged if, in fact, there's evidence that he's committed a crime that's provable beyond a reasonable doubt in front of a jury of his peers. Until then, he has a presumption of innocence.
I believe that history will hold him to account for his actions that day. But with regard to the prospect of an indictment, I hope it doesn't come to that.
Meanwhile, the special counsel investigation continues in Washington and beyond, with Trump White House and campaign aide William Russell expected to testify before the grand jury. And NBC News learning of prosecutors subpoenaing surveillance video of vote counting in Georgia, probing conversations between Mr. Trump and Arizona's former governor, and interviewing election officials in Wisconsin. The former president calling allies on Capitol Hill, urging his GOP supporters to defend him publicly.
I spoke with him yesterday, and this is yet another example of the illegal weaponization of the Department of Justice to go after Joe Biden's top political opponent.
I don't see how he could be found criminally responsible. He did not charge it. Well, what criminal activity did he do? He told people to be peaceful.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.